The Nigeria diaspora is among top 5 migrant groups in Canada, contributing massively to the economy of the host country. Therefore, a stronger and mutually beneficial migration management partnership is most timely and appropriate. The Canadian High Commissioner to Nigeria, Dr. Jamie Christophe, dropped the hint when he visited Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, the Chairman CEO of NIDCOM in Abuja. And also the Zimbabwean High Commissioner to Nigeria, Ambassador Maxwell Ranga, led a delegation on a study tour of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission in Abuja. Plus, 2 universities visit NIDCOM. University of Abuja, led by its Vice-Chancellor, Professor Rashid Nala, and the Newgate University, Mina, Niger State. And do not forget our complimentary segment of Health Tips by Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas, and of course, our Diaspora of the Moment. This is your favorite show, The Diaspora. I am Shaliwa Ajila, your anchor. Please stay with us. Dr. Jamie Christophe, Canadian High Commissioner to Nigeria, was in the NIDCOM office for a strategic meeting with Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, Chairman CEO of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission.
Thank you, Chair, very much for the report, and just to say what a great pleasure it was to see you again today. And indeed, we had a lot to talk about in terms of how do we maximize the role of diaspora in Canada to the benefit of both Nigeria and Canada. And I think today we actually came up with a few ideas we'll pursue, and I look forward to doing that. Always a pleasure to see you, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency. And we continue to deepen the relationship between both countries, particularly with our diaspora. I want to thank you for the role you have played and all you've been doing. And we just hope that as we pass on the message and messaging to our brothers and sisters in Canada, we continue to ensure proper migration, migrating the right way. And we're proud of Nigerians in Canada that are contributing to the Canadian economy, doing great things over there, doing their businesses over there, and we hope it continues to get better. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, very much.
The Zimbabwean delegation, led by its High Commissioner to Nigeria, Ambassador Maxwell Ranga, stated that they are in Nigeria to understudy NIDCOM for better diaspora engagements with Zimbabweans in the diaspora.
I also want to emulate what you have said, that we need to think within Africa. We have what the challenge. We are talking of what we call EFTA, Africa Continental Free Trade Area. How can we talk of that when we don't do inter-trade in the investments as Africans? And how can we do that when we think investments can only be done with Europeans or with other countries than Africa? We need to live within Africa. It's a pity that even our resources, we are channeling our resources to these European countries without value addition and beneficiation. And we stand to lose at the end of the day. Yet, we can trade within our countries. Coming back to the diaspora, Madam, we have learnt a lot. And I like your coordination with various ministries. Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of ICT, into education, they are there. And now we've got some coming even from Poland to come and do agriculture here, to do ranging. I'm also a farmer and I'm into ranging. I was quite impressed.
We have our culture. We relate to one another. We talk to one another. I'll end with the story of one of my staff who for the first time went to England. I won't mention his name. For the first time was able to go to England, got there. He said before he left, he had this friend and he said, I'm coming. He didn't believe him. He didn't even think he had a visa. He didn't believe him. He said, it's a lie. So when he got there, oh boy, I did your country now. And the guy said, it's a lie. He said, show me, do video call. He did video call. I said, it's still in London. This guy was a manager in Nigeria before he went to UK. That was the last we heard of him. He disappeared. You know, because he probably wasn't proud of what he was doing. You know, he probably didn't have a job, probably didn't have a home. So he could, then I said, okay, when am I coming? I will come and he said, no, I'll send you my address. That was the end. So again, we try to tell our people that just know where you're going to. Because it's not all the time that is greener out there. And we want to encourage migration within the African continent. I would rather spend my vacation in Zimbabwe, Uganda, Kenya, than go elsewhere. So I hope that in talking about diaspora, in talking about migration, we also talk about being closer as Africans, you know, being warm to each other, not discriminating against each other, and working together to build this beautiful continent. So in talking diaspora, we also talk about building our continent and making it the greatest.
Professor Rashid Naala, Vice Chancellor, University of Abuja, has stated that the newly established Center for Migration Studies is ready to partner with the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission for better migration appreciation and capacity building.
We felt as a university that it's actually our responsibility to begin to talk to Nigerians, to explain to Nigerians, to do research that can help our government in policy formulations, to assist, you know, to let people know that there are easy ways you can go for study, you can get admission, there are many other ways in which, with your dignity intact, you can get abroad anywhere abroad and live your life and do whatever it is you want to do. And our goal really is to educate them so that they don't go the way they go, so that you know, even when they go, they have quality to their lives and expectations. There are some countries, if you can speak their language, that's enough for them to give you residence. There are countries like that. Just speak their language. So if you are really eager to go, why don't you come to University of Abuja and learn some of their language? Japan, for example, you know, is losing their youths. I mean, almost everybody is old people. So they have created a law that is targeted at young people. They want young, you know, what do you call it, productive age. And they have decided to open up. They may not know that. We will know because we are an academic, you know, community. We do research, we do survey. If we educate them, if you want to go to, they just learn Japanese language. University of Abuja teaches Japanese. If you hear Japanese, you will see Japanese companies giving you employment. Even the government, quickly. It's easier to go that way than want to go through, you know, so many things that we feel we can do. Now, your commission in particular, because you're about diaspora, you have collected a lot of data that can be useful to us. We have a lot of ways that we can be useful to you. We offer degree programs in migration studies. We have a master's degree with a PhD degree. We know that our service is not just for Nigeria, it's a Pan-African perspective. We are meeting embassies of Africa, we're having deep discussions with them, we're inviting them to work with the University of Abuja. It's our destiny as a university in the capital city of Nigeria. Just like Nigeria has the destiny to be the leader, be the largest country in Africa, now the largest economy. In West Africa, we are the biggest, the largest, and the leader. It's automatic. The same way it is automatic for the University of Abuja. So our coming, therefore, is to look at ways that we can work with you, we can understand areas of your need, that we as a university can actually work on and help you in the kind of job that you do.
The commission was set up primarily to engage with the over 20 million Nigerians that are in the diaspora. We have about 17 to 18 million modern diaspora from Nigeria out there. We have about 2 to 3 million historic African diaspora. Those are the ones that whose four greats grandparents were taken out of Nigeria through the door of no return in Badagry, which presently NIDCOM has christened it the door of return. So we have a festival in Badagry every October from this commission, christened Door of Return. And the historic African diaspora come for that. So we have two groups, the modern diaspora, the historic diaspora. Now, the commission is set up to engage with these over 20 million Nigerians that are out there, and so that they do not A, forget their roots, B, they also contribute their quota to national development. Because we discovered these 20 million people are one of the best that we have. They are well trained, they have resources, they have also what we call global exposure. And when you bring these three things together into our development paradigm in Nigeria, you will accelerate our national development.
And students of the Newgate University undergoing courses on international relations and diplomacy were in NIDCOM to know more about its mandate and core objectives.
We want to also know more about the activities of NIDCOM, considering the fact that the contemporary slogan now is for everybody to jackpot. So we also want to be orientated as to the activities of NIDCOM, and then as diplomats, we want to also gain more insight as to the historical significance of NIDCOM.
We have a national diaspora policy which was adopted by the Federal Executive Council in April 2021. The policy defines who a diaspora is. The policy also sets up the criteria and conditionalities for our existence and our relationship with the diaspora, and is based on the policy of what we call the 3 E's. First of all, the Commission will engage with the Nigerians in the diaspora. That's the first E, engagement. By engagement, we mean knowing who is in the diaspora, what his name is, what his skill sets are, where he lives, his contact details, whether email or WhatsApp or whatever, something. And so that if we go to a particular location with the tap of a button, we should be able to know who is a Nigerian in the diaspora in that location.
My question is, how does the Commission work to ensure the protection and rights of Nigerians living outside?
What are the remittances that are being gotten used for within Nigeria?
My question is, how does the NIDCOM get its funding, considering all its activities aside getting funds from the foreign affairs?
My question is, who is the founder of NIDCOM?
Sorry?
Who is the founder of NIDCOM?
The founder. I was driving through one of the districts of Abuja. If you see the type of houses being built, it's our diaspora that are bringing resources and bringing the designs and the resources and building those houses. And it has impacted our room and parlor type of mentality in terms of the real estate. So diaspora remittances is doing quite a lot. But like I said, there is an empirical formula developed by the World Bank for calculating these remittances and bringing them into dollar equivalent. That's what I was reading to you. Who is the founder of NIDCOM? Very good question. I know you are coming from a private university, Newgate University, that has a founder. NIDCOM is a federal government of Nigeria agency founded by the federal government of Nigeria. Okay? The NIDCOM is owned by Nigerians. It's a federal government institution.
Let's take a short break. The diaspora continues shortly.
this walk that you're walking, even though it was known as the point of no return, we see it now as the joy of return.
The spirit of Africa could not be broken by the transatlantic slave trade. You cannot lose the spirit. And the divine force, the spirit of Africa, has brought us back today.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to home.
Next is our health tips segment with Ampa.
So sickle cell disease is an inherited blood cell disorder, specifically red blood cell. So in your body, you have white blood cells that help prevent infection. You have platelets that help prevent injury, to help you to heal. And then you have red blood cells, which supply oxygen throughout your body. And a person without sickle cell disease, their red blood cells are perfectly round and flexible. So they can move through the body without any issues. A person with sickle cell disease, the red blood cells are sickled or crescent shaped, given the name of the disease, and they have problems traveling through different sizes or different blood vessels of different sizes. So it can really impact your major organs. It can cause problems involving swelling in the lower extremities and the hands. It can cause organ damage to your kidneys. It can cause stroke. It can cause heart disease. So it makes a major impact, especially people with ethnic connections to Africa, the Middle East, the Mediterranean basin, and India.
How is sickle cell disease diagnosed?
It's really easy to diagnose. It's a simple blood test. It can be done at a lab or even at a point of care center. In more developed countries like the United States, we do screenings on newborn babies as part of the state's newborn screening program. That way you can identify a person or a baby with sickle cell disease right within a few days of life, even within a week maximum. In other parts of the world, particularly Nigeria, I've heard there's certain hurdles in terms of trying to get a program that can do the same thing and get the same results.
What are some health interventions used to treat sickle cell disease?
So initially, especially if you identify a baby within a few days of life, the easiest intervention is giving penicillin, which is an antibiotic geared toward preventing infections. When you have sickle cell disease, you're predisposed or vulnerable to certain bacteria that's in the community. Things like strep, things like staph, those can predispose a person with sickle cell disease to very serious problems and hospitalizations. The other things we try to do is give immunizations to help prevent those types of infections. More heroically, there's blood transfusions. So remember, the disease hinges around those bad red blood cells. A blood transfusion from a healthy person into a person with sickle cell disease can help alleviate their symptoms. And finally, probably the most heroic is bone marrow transfer or bone marrow transplant. Basically, it kind of just resets the blueprint of how your body produces red blood cells.
Up next is our diaspora of the moment.
Our diaspora of the moment is Simidele Adeife Omonla Adeagbo Oli. Adeagbo was born in Toronto, Ontario, Canada on the 29th of July, 1981. She is a Nigerian skeleton racer who competed at the 2018 Winter Olympics. She is Nigeria's and Africa's first female skeleton athlete. She was the first Black female Olympian in the sport. In 2022, she won the women's monobob event in the 2022 Euro Cup held in Germany. In so doing, she became the first athlete from Africa to win an international sled race. Before competing in skeleton, Adeagbo completed in triple jump, last competing in 2008. Adeagbo served as a Nike body double for Serena Williams Adiagbo is a marketing manager for Nike in South Africa since 2012. On the 18th of August 2018, Adiagbo spoke alongside other noteworthy speakers to a sold-out audience during the TEDx Lagos Spotlight event at the Muzon Center. She shared the stage with legal practitioners Shuko Shashuri, award-winning technologist Ade Olufeko, art curator Tokoni Peterside, and media personality Banky W, amongst others. The 42-year-old skeleton racer broke the record over the weekend at the 2024 BMW IBSF World Championship in Winterberg, Germany, where she finished top 20 in her World Championships debut. By doing so, she also inked Nigeria's name in history books as the first African nation to be represented in bobsleigh at the World Championships. Congratulations, Simidele Adeife Omonla Adiagbo. We celebrate you as our diaspora of the moment.
That has been the Diaspora, your favorite show. Stick around for a bumper next week. Stay positive.